welcome to Bet On It. Bet On It's NFC preview. If you guys haven't seen the AFC preview, it's up on our WagerTalk YouTube channel. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by D'Angelo and Joe Raineri. All right, boys, tick, tick, tick. If you missed the AFC show, I got Uber Eats on the way, and I got a hustle show to film in. Oh my God, there's no way. This is just too busy today. NFC East, Marco, what say you? This division never has back-to-back winners, but it sure looks like the Cowboys division to win. Talk to me about the commies. Well, maybe that was a bad joke. I'll just let you talk about the NFC East.
All right, Kelly, I'll be brief here.
I was trying to make a Washington football team Commanders/Redskins joke, and then I thought, I've already been canceled once. I don't need to be canceled.
It's all you, Marco.
We are in rare midseason form already, and we haven't even played an NFL game that counts yet. All right, we're going to look. I'm going to tell you, Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, on paper, this looks like their division to lose, as it is almost every single season, and somehow they find a way to screw it up. But you know what? Dak Prescott, I'm concerned. He lost Amari Cooper. That is going to have a bigger effect than people realize. Also, the fact that Michael Gallup is not 100% healthy, going to miss the start of the season. And when you have Cooper there, what he does is take all of the double teams. It makes Gallup better whenever he's healthy. It makes CD Lamb better because those guys are getting single coverage. Now, when those two guys are both in the lineup, one of them is going to be getting the double cover. And I just don't see this offense rolling like it did last year. And then there's always the defense with Dallas. You never know what you're going to get. You might have a game where they've got to score 45 points to win because the defense can't stop anybody. So I'm not buying into the Cowboys. I've sipped that tea and that Kool-Aid many times, and it's bit me in the butt too many times. I'm going to go to Philadelphia. This is a team that appears to be heading in the right direction. They made a head coaching change last year, paid dividends. This team played great football down the stretch. I look for that to carry over to this season. Who do I have winning the division? I'm going to go ahead and take Philadelphia at plus money here. Washington, no, I can't do it. There's a guy, I won't even say his name, a quarterback there. I can't do it. Forget them. And, the Giants, as long as Daniel Jones is quarterback, they're not getting any of my money. I am on Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC. Do we still call them the NFC least?
Yes,
decent
100%.
Teams, but the other two, not so much.
And I totally screwed that up, and I had that written down as well, just to remind myself. All jokes aside, it looks like a two-horse race here, Joe, between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Lots of question marks, I think, on both sides. And I really, what's the right word here I'm looking for? I don't want to say hate, but I really dislike when I turn on the television and every single person at one of those moon-shaped tables or half oval tables likes the same team. And it seems like every talking head loves the Philadelphia Eagles, which has got me looking in the direction of a different team. But it's not the Commanders, as D'Angelo mentioned. Carson Wentz, I'm just not sold on him. I understand he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Well, that was a lot of Nick Foles as well. And as far as Daniel Jones and the Giants go, we can just leave them off this preview. I don't have a lot to say, but I know you are our former New York resident. Do you have anything to add to the Giants?
Yeah, I love the Giants. I think they're going to... No, who are we kidding here? The Giants are going to suck. But, hey, listen, a step in the right direction, right? If now, I think they've won, 5 or 6 games now? That seems to be their number. I even saw some places, Cal, that getting a little sexy there, throwing it up to 7. And who the hell is betting the Giants at this point? Not with the Eagles. And did you see the trade that the Eagles just made? They got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson now to play safety from the Saints to go along with Darius Slay and Bradbury. I think this is all about the Eagles. I think the defense will come to play come November, December. I think Jalen Hurts is a bit of a question mark. But, hey, if Jalen Hurts shows up this year, how much money does Jalen Hurts make himself over the next, 5, 6, 7 years? huge opportunity for this Eagles quarterback. Don't hate Gardner Minshew if push comes to shove as well. Too many pieces. I don't trust the Cowboys by any stretch of the imagination, and it starts with Mike McCarthy, and it ends with Mike McCarthy. I think the better question in prop bet should be, at what point in the season does he get tossed? Because it's happening here, guys. Before the end of the season, this is the Eagles division by far. They're best on paper. They will be best on the field as well. Sorry, Cowboy fans. Going to be another disappointing season for you. Give me the Eagles to win this division, Kel.
Cowboys currently 11.5 games, Eagles 9.5, but yet they have the same odds to win the division. Something isn't adding up. But let me tell you, I don't like the fact that you guys are joining those same talking heads, because just like on Monday Night Football, when there's about 5 little boxes, now you guys just added 2 more, and they all say the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a little concerning for me. We are going to take a commercial break, and we come back, we're going to talk the NFC West.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet On It, and the Opening Line Report, plus browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
All right, let's talk about the NFC West with a team that has a big question mark for me. Hopefully Joe Raineri can answer that for me. The LA Rams, last year's Super Bowl winners, are the slight favorite here, but right behind them is that San Francisco 49ers team. Joe, I'm not understanding all this love for Trey Lance. I was a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan, and I got just destroyed for it. And it wasn't just because he was hot, okay? I thought he was a very serviceable quarterback. Maybe he didn't have the leadership in the locker room that they were looking for. But my God, that man had balls of steel going into Green Bay and getting the outright win last year during the playoffs. I don't know what to make of this team, and I'm not sure I understand the quarterback change. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals at 4-1, and then Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. They have Drew Lock as their quarterback, or Geno Smith. It doesn't matter to me.
Listen, the love affair with Jimmy G and Shanahan, guess what? It's alive and well. He's not going anywhere, Kel. He'll get to hang out with all of those ugly-ass porn stars now for another year. It's going to be fantastic. What message does Trey Lance get by the 49ers not getting rid of Jimmy, but allowing him to stay in that room and having this kid not only have to win the starting job again all over, but he's got to win that locker room over? How is that going to work in week 4 or 5 if things aren't going all that well and Jimmy G's in the room and you've got all the players going, and when? Like, how long are we going to wait here? It's a curious move, and I think it says more about what they think Trey Lance's ability is to be able to take them to the promised land this year. I do think, though, with Jimmy G healthy and Jimmy G on that roster, it is one of the best stopgaps in the NFL right now. It's also one of the most expensive. The Rams worry me, mostly because Stafford worries me. I think that elbow, I think there are some injuries there with Stafford that worry me. They're going to be good again. They listen, it's their division until somebody beats them. But how do you sleep on this 49ers team who had some of the most injuries of any team we have seen last year and still managed to have a pretty good season? I think, listen, the 49ers are the team for me that are going to win this division. I get all the love for the Rams. They're the champs, but I'm a little worried about that whole repeat situation. I think the 49ers can get it done. I think the Cardinals will win the first half Super Bowl and suck in the second half like they usually do, Cal. So give me the 49ers and Jimmy G to get it done here in the West this year.
All right, Marco, can we get the trifecta going? I know football season hasn't started yet, but man, when we're in lockstep.
Yeah, well, I'm going to break that here. Let's start with the Rams. You know what? We've done how many shows already today? And I haven't got to say fat and sassy. The Rams are fat and sassy. They won the Super Bowl. They're not repeating. And, yeah, I've got injury concerns about Matthew Stafford. Again, you can't handicap worrying about an injury, but man, if there is a team that is vulnerable, it would be the Rams if they lose Matthew Stafford. Now let's talk about the 49ers and the keeping Jimmy G on there. Yes, it sends a message. What kind of message does it send to Trey Lance? What it sends to me is that the 49ers know this team is set. They have all the pieces in place to go to the Super Bowl. The only thing that can screw it up is Trey Lance, and they have an insurance policy. That's what they're doing. Jimmy G accepted a big pay cut to stay on the team. It's incentive-based, which means absolutely nothing if he never gets on the field, so they don't have to worry about that. But if they need him as the insurance policy, he's there. Think about this team. If Trey Lance is anything of what Shanahan thinks he is. We know Shanahan's an offensive guru, except when he has a big lead in the Super Bowl. That's who you blame in Atlanta, Mr. Raineri, for not Matt Ryan, okay? But this is a spot, if the running backs are healthy, what they did last year with Deebo Samuel, what you have with Trey Lance that can run the football and all of the different gimmick plays you can run, then you've got, it opens up the passing game with all the things you got to be concerned with on the running game. This could be one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, or it could be a total bust, and that depends on Trey Lance. I think the 49ers can win this division. They're the most logical team on paper for me. But I'm going to go to a sleeper, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. This team has improved each year. Now, last year at the end of the season, things fell apart. Kyler Murray was playing on a bum ankle. Everybody knows this team is only going to go as far as Kyler Murray takes them. Now, you had a very strange offseason where, he took down all of his Arizona stuff off of his, social media accounts. They wanted traded, this and that. Well, everybody kissed and made up, and he's here. And this is a team that could be a sleeper at a price. If you want to take a long shot in this division, let's go ahead and look at Arizona. They've knocked on the door the last couple years. If they don't fall apart like they did at the end of last season, they were live. Keep him healthy, Murray. This team can make noise. I'm going to go ahead and make my long shot play, the Arizona Cardinals in the NFC West.
Marco is not going to like that play I gave out on Twitter from Money Shots just a couple weeks ago. Kyler Murray to throw the most interceptions. Anyway, that being said, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we've got a new segment for you that is, of course, unless you've already watched it during the AFC preview. That's right. We've got some fun stuff coming up on Bet On It.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome to our new segment, Prop Shop. That's right. We've got Andy Lang at Bump Sports on Twitter from WagerTalk. You can check him out at the show Prop It Up. Ariel Epstein from the MLB Network at Ariel Epstein on Twitter. She also does the MLB show with our good buddy Joe Raineri. Excited to have both of you guys on here. Not so excited for what Andy told me about my favorite prop before the show, but I'm going to kick it to Andy. Let him know what we're expecting from this segment each and every week on Bet On It.
Well, we're going to try and get everyone ready for the weekend and how they can profit off of the props betting market. This is a very new market to some people. To others, we've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of opportunities. I feel like the books just have a really tough time putting out the proper lines on all of the props. If you search hard enough, you're going to find value. You're going to find some great plays. This is very different from the spreads and the totals where the books can hammer these lines down perfectly. You're going to find some real holes in the market, and we're here to help you take advantage and increase that bankroll through the prop market.
I love to hear it because props is a foreign idea to me. I've always been just that size and total. So hoping we can bring you guys some really good insight Ariel Epstein. I know you said you didn't love a lot in terms of futures props, but please tell me how you go through your handicapping process in terms of props.
When I go through the NFL handicapping process in the props market, I eliminate passing yards. Well, passing yards are okay, but rushing yards, receiving yards, those are out. They're too public. Rushing plus receiving's better. Rush attempts, pass attempts is my favorite. Defensive tackle props, also for the total tackles, another market that's great, especially for prime time. Defensive props aren't really where people tend to look because they're not the flashy player. You can find edges in those markets. Kelly, I just can't look to some of the more public markets because everyone's going to be on them. I also like to make sure that when I'm handicapping the props throughout the week, that I kind of keep tabs on the trajectory of the prop. Like if a passing yards prop ends up going up throughout the week or down throughout the week, why? And try to find that answer. I look for defenses that are top 10. That's where I look for my unders. I look for defenses bottom 10. That's where I look for my overs. Then I go game by game throughout the season. I will never go off averages, always game by game, because matchups are really important.
I love to hear all this great insight. And apparently I am a square bear when it comes to the prop market. But Andy Lang, I'm going to let you go first. What is one of your favorite props for this NFL season?
Well, I live in Indianapolis, and so I follow all the teams in my division, and I can't tell you how much I'm out on the Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill this year. So I'm going to take under 3,600 and a half passing yards. The Titans, listen, they're a run-first team. We know that. Derrick Henry comes into the season fully healthy. Tannehill's 33 years old. He has a lot of wear and tear on his body. And last year, he only went over this total by 134 yards, and he played all 17 games. So when you have 3,734 passing yards in a season where Derrick Henry missed 9 games, and now they lose A.J. Brown, they lose Julio Jones, and they replace him with Robert Woods and Austin Hooper, that's a pretty significant drop-off in talent. The Titans also drafted a rookie quarterback. I'm not even sure Ryan Tannehill makes it through the season as the starter. And as always, when you have these season totals, if you get any injury, you're in good shape to cash the under. I don't see Tannehill getting over this total. They get to play the Texans and the Jaguars twice, which means those are 4 games with huge Derrick Henry numbers. I see Tannehill not lasting the year as a starter if he struggles early, but even if he does, an injury cashes this under. And even if he does play 17 games, I don't think he gets here. It's a run-first team. Give me Ryan Tannehill under 3,600 and a half passing yards.
Okay, I don't hate that one. That makes a lot of sense. I am too going to take a passing yards, and then I'm going to let Andy just absolutely obliterate it now that Ariel told me I am a public bettor. Over at the Barstool Sportsbook, Jameis Winston, 3,600.
Come on, remember the number, Kelly. Remember the number.
The current line was. I love this New Orleans Saints team. And this is where I'm looking in terms of the prop market, right? I want them correlated with my bets and my other futures bets. I have the Saints to win the NFC South. I really think Chris Olave is going to break out as a rookie this year. And now we've got Alvin Kamara possibly not being suspended at all. I know Michael Thomas is back and forth on the PUP list, but we're going to find out. Bottom line, Jameis Winston has a ton of targets. Now, what's my favorite thing about Jameis? You never know what you're going to get. Is this man going to throw a pick 6 or a touchdown pass? And that's where this one, I think, is built into the line. If you look at a lot of these other, what I would call A-list, right? Not elite, but A-list quarterbacks. I think Jameis Winston's a B-list quarterback. They're all in the mid-4,000s, as Andy Lang just mentioned, with Ryan Tannehill. And this one seems very low. If Jameis can stay healthy, I have no qualms about cashing this ticket.
Yikes. Okay, where do I start? So Kelly likes the over because you never know what you're going to get. He's depending on a hurt wide receiver on and off the PUP list.
The stigma
but don't
with
worry.
Jameis. That is Jameis'
Don't worry,
stigma.
we got a rookie wide receiver coming in. We got a rookie wide receiver coming in, and I don't think the running back's going to be suspended this year. All right,
well,
Kelly.
The reason why I brought up Alvin Kamara is because he can also catch the ball. We know that he's more than a running back. I think he's kind of like this versatile slot running back, if you will.
Kelly, I love you. I do not love this pick. Listen, in order for him to catch this, he's got to play 17 games and average 214 yards. He didn't complete over 20 passes one time in 6 games last year. He only got over 214 yards 3 times out of 6 games. And listen, their defense is fantastic. This is what this team is built on. I think they're going to utilize the run game a lot. They get the Falcons, they get the Panthers. Those teams should give up a ton of rushing yards to Kamara. And it seems like this offense is built more to prevent him from throwing interceptions as opposed to letting it air out. Shaky wide receivers with the health of Michael Thomas and a rookie wide receiver. And listen, Kelly, this is the big thing when you're taking season futures. I like the unders. I lean more towards him. He's coming off of an injury, and if he misses any games, this over is pretty much dead. I think you got an uphill battle on this. I'm pulling for you, but this one makes me nervous.
Listen, I understand the risks that are here, but I've already
This
pot
is the
committed.
most Kelly in Vegas prop I have ever heard. It's contrarian. People are scared that Jameis Winston is going to get hurt. That would be my fear. It's why I stay away from a lot of season-long props, because you're hurt one game, your prop potentially is out the window. Jameis Winston could have a great season airing the ball out. You're talking about a quarterback 2 years ago that led the league in passing yards, also led the league in interceptions. That one scares me too. It doesn't shock me though, because the Saints have been the team that ever since I'm pretty sure the season ended, Kelly has been on. Kelly's been ready to back the Saints since February of 2021. It's no shocker. Kel, best of luck to you. I'm off of passing yards props for the season long though.
No, listen, you guys nailed it. These are season-long props. There is a lot of variance here in terms of if you missed just one game. And listen, I've seen people cash plenty of tickets where a quarterback did sit out one way or another. I'm obviously not cheering for any unders that I bet for injury, but that doesn't hurt, unfortunately, in the big scheme of things. And just like any other futures bets, and why I've avoided them for years, is because you are giving the book your money for 20 plus weeks in the NFL, and you've really got to make sure you've done your homework. That's why I'm just dipping my toe in this year, just a little bit, little half unit plays here and there, and they're all correlated. I will have the rest of my plays up on TikTok. Yes, I said that. That makes me nauseous. Ariel Epstein, you're the TikTok queen. I've seen several of them over the last couple of weeks. You love it. It's in your wheelhouse. Maybe I'll just pay you to do mine. What is your favorite bet for this NFL season?
My favorite futures bet in the props market would be backing the Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins. You can get him to have 7 or more touchdowns at plus 105. You can get him to have 10 or more touchdowns at plus 260. J.K. Dobbins had 9 touchdowns in 2020, his rookie season. He was the 4th string running back. Mark Ingram, I have the list here. 2020 feels like forever ago. Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill. Justice Hill was the name I was forgetting. Those 3 running backs were in front of J.K. Dobbins in 2020, and he still had 9 touchdowns. Dobbins didn't take a snap in the regular season last year. He got hurt. He's back this season. Dobbins has been active on Twitter telling everybody to shut the hell up because he's fine and he's going to play this year. He's the number 1 running back, and the second string's Gus Edwards. He's out the first 4 weeks of the season. Who's going to get all those carries? It's J.K. Dobbins. I love it. 7 or more touchdowns for plus 105 or plus 260 for 10 or more touchdowns for J.K. Dobbins. It's also correlated because I love the Ravens.
I love that. And I got talked into doing what they call a zero quarterback way of drafting with fantasy. This year, my partner brought me all of this data and said, I think we go wide receiver heavy, get a stud quarterback. And we got J.K. Dobbins. And I'm like, oh. So to hear that Ariel Epstein also likes his prop over this year, that makes me very, very happy. Andy, I know that you have one more prop for our viewers before we let you guys go. What is it?
Well, if you went zero quarterback, you could wait to the end and take a terrible quarterback like Jameis Winston. Okay, so my favorite...
Okay. I want you to know, first of all, I lobbied very hard for Jameis this year as our second string quarterback. I'm going to tell you this right now. Jameis, fresh off the LASIK, we're going to set a line here. Andy, I want you to tell me how many interceptions you think Jameis Winston is going to throw this year.
Oh man, how many interceptions? I think he's going to miss a couple games. Give me 18.
I'll take the under all day.
Shocking.
I will
shocking.
text you
All
on
right.
the side.
Shocking.
We're
getting her a
segment.
jersey, Andy. We're getting her a jersey
I'm
for
going to do a
Jameis.
Jameis Winston interception tracker all year long on Twitter, and I'm going to tag Andy in it every single time my guy has a great game, including that night game against the Bucs that is already circled on my list. Andy, now that you're done talking trash, what is your favorite prop bet for this season?
Okay, I'm going into the rushing touchdowns market as well. Ariel, I do love the J.K. Dobbins one. I had that one circled. I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon over 5.5 rushing touchdowns. Dillon's going to get a lot of work inside the 10-yard line. Devontae Adams and Valdez-Scantling is gone. That's 14 touchdowns from last year. And we know the chemistry that Rodgers had with Adams. So they're going to be looking to try and fill that void once they get inside the 5 and the 10-yard line. He had 5 rushing touchdowns last year, but they were all in the last half of the season when he got much more involved with the offense. He scored a touchdown in the playoff game. And Aaron Jones, we expect to catch more passes. I think Dillon is going to see a lot more of the ground game. He's a big back. Aaron Rodgers and the coaching staff trust him as he's had a lot of inside the 5-yard line carries. I like the over 5.5 rushing touchdowns for him. I think he gets there pretty easily. That's my favorite over prop for this upcoming season.
I love it, love it, love it. Excited for the new segment this year from Andy and Ariel. We're going to see them each and every week on the NFL Bet On It, bringing us best prop bets. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we see you, it's time for our best bet.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet On It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
Thank you to Ariel and Andy. Excited to have them as a part of the Bet On It team for this fall, bringing all of the prop bets for you guys. Because I know you guys, the more bets, the better. And that's what this division is for me. The NFC North, I know Aaron Rodgers and, well, his lack of receivers is going to be the odds-on favorite here, but I'm looking in another direction. I'm excited to see what McConnell brings with his guy from the Washington Redskins. That's right, Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins over his passing yards. I expect him to have a big year, mainly with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, but not too big because I didn't get to draft Justin Jefferson, unfortunately. I should have brought this up in the other segment. I have Cooper Kupp. So Joe's worried about the health of Matthew Stafford. Because I have a curse on my fantasy football team, I'm worried about the health of Cooper Kupp. That being said, I also have Dalvin Cook over 9.5 rushing touchdowns, minus 130. We know that Coach Zimmer, my beloved Coach Zimmer, which was such a great ATS man for me for so long, he and Kirk had some issues. Well, he had some other issues as well, and he lost his job. But I do think that this offense is going to remain fairly intact, and I expect a big rushing season from Dalvin Cook. And I bet this team plus 275 to win the NFC North. I think this is a 2-horse race here, and if you want to give me plus money with the Vikings, I'm going to be there on New Year's Day. Maybe I'll get to catch that Vikings ticket a week early. Joe, curious to hear what you have to say. The Lions, 6 wins. The Bears, are they going to be better without Matt Nagy? Sure. But this division, no, they're not. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about Justin Fields and company.
Yeah, it's a race to the bottom there, Bears. And Tag, you're it. Now, the good news is they'll lose a whole lot of dead money off of the books next year. So they're going to be looking at, over $100 million to be able to spend. So they got to bite the bullet one more year for Justin Fields and hopefully not get him killed. But the Bears' better times are on the horizon. The Lions, love it. Love Dan Campbell. Love that his team and his players have actually bought into him. We saw that last year. We've got Jared Goff playing for the rest of his career. That's pretty much what's at stake for him this year. I do like guys like Jared Goff with their backs against the walls. Put up or shut up. If he puts up this year and he crushes it, He's got himself another contract, and he'll never have to worry again in the NFL. If not, he's going to be relegated to hopping on as a backup quarterback for the rest of his career. So it's a big year for Goff. I love the toughness of this group. I do think they're going to surprise people. I bet them over their win total this year. I do think they're going to get 8-9 wins, somewhere in that ballpark. The Vikings scare me. Why? Kirk Cousins. The same reason you like him scares the living daylights out of me there. They've got Justin Jefferson, right? Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. They got it. They got O'Connell, right, from the Rams. So they've got all of those pieces. I just worry that he loses more games than he wins for them, and that's kind of been an MO for Kirk Cousins. The one thing I'm never worried about is Aaron Rodgers, because every year I try to fade his ass. He manages to win 12 games and cost me nothing but money. Every year I am done fading Aaron Rodgers, and we had mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier, Cal. I don't want to hear about the whole, what is he going to do without Adams? He's not going to do anything. What did Tom Brady do for 20 years with no name wide receivers? The quarterback makes the receiver doesn't make the quarterback. I don't care if he's throwing to the dude in section 303 who just put a uniform on. Aaron Rodgers is going to make you better. This team is used to winning 10, 11, 12, 13 games a year. I don't see how that changes. They're still going to have the run game. The defense is going to be there. Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder, pissed off at a lot of people, Cal, you might have heard. And I think he takes it out again this year. I think it's the Packers to lose. I understand the Vikings love, but I ain't fading Aaron Rodgers anymore. Give me Green Bay to win this division.
Joe, with a little Aaron Rodgers PTSD, I think we've all been there over the years. Marco, what are your thoughts on the NFC North?
Quick note on Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of pressure on him this year. Everybody goes with the narrative, where do you put him, in football history if he doesn't win another Super Bowl? Well, if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, where do you put him without Devontae Adams? So, yes, he's got a chip on his shoulder. We'll see if he responds and gets the job done. But I look at this team last year, and yeah, they went 13-5 last year, but 5 of those wins were by 3 points or less. You come down to the coin flips, it seems like, and that's where I agree with you, Joe. I'm tired of stepping in front of him. He always finds a way to win, but very easily that 13-5 could have been a 10-8 last year. The upside for me, I agree with the Lions. They're finally heading in the right direction. Hopefully, Johnny Detroit won't have to use that, cartoon that he does every year with the poor guy pulling the football out from under him, Charlie Brown. But we'll see what happens. They are on the right direction, in my opinion. And no coincidence, that right direction happened as soon as they got rid of Matt Patricia. Now, for the team that I'm going to jump on, and Kelly, you're going to like it because I am agreeing with you. I expect Minnesota to noise, and they're going to be my price play to win this division. Too much love for the Packers. I think the Vikings, if they stay healthy, you need Dalvin Cook healthy all year. He is what makes everything go to me. When the running game is working, Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback. The running game can make an average quarterback a great quarterback. And that's what we need from him. We've seen Kirk Cousins. We've seen this show before. There is no more half full, half empty glass quarterback in the NFL than Kirk Cousins. He's either really good or really bad. And guess what? What is his career against the spread record? Well, 60-59. So, yeah, half full or half empty. I think they get it done this year. I'm going to go with the Vikings to surprise and win a soft division because, let's face it, the Bears are going to be bad. Detroit is still in the rebuild, and I see some regression coming from Green Bay.
Marco, that's so unfair to slander Kirk's record with the Washington football team on there. I mean, come on. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it is our last division. That's right. It's NFC South.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
All right, it's time for our last segment. That's right, it's the NFC South. And I kind of saved, I feel like, the best for last, except I got to save that for the best bets. But anyway, the Bucs, of course, Tom Brady are the favorites here. Saints right behind, 3-1 plus 350 some spots. Carolina Panthers 11-1. The Atlanta Falcons, we probably won't even talk about. Let's just be honest here. Marco, I'm going to go to you first because I got to save this for my best bet. That's it. That's all I got to say. I told you guys I had a lot of NFC bets, and this one is by far my favorite.
Well, Kelly, it all starts and ends with Tampa Bay. It's their division to win or lose, and, of course, that's Tom Brady. You got to worry a little bit about the commitment factor with Tom Brady. He retired, then he unretired, then he goes missing for 2 weeks. That commitment's got to be there. We've never, ever questioned commitment from Tom Brady before, but you know what? Every day that passes by, it's a new thing for Tom Brady because we don't see very many 45-year-old quarterbacks in the league. We'll see what happens. Can he stay healthy? Can he get this team? And he's not going to have, and I know Joe's going to say it's the quarterback that makes the receivers, but I'll tell you what, when a play was breaking down, Tom Brady always knew where to find Gronk to get himself out of a jam. He's not going to have that this year. I think Tampa Bay could take a step backwards this year. If they take a step backwards, who's going to take the step forward? Well, maybe not necessarily forward, but maybe they were just a little bit underrated, and that's going to be the Saints. We talked about the Steelers in the AFC, where a lot of people automatically are, down on them. No Sean Payton. We've got Jameis Winston. We don't know what he's going to do for a full season because we didn't get to see that last year. He wasn't playing bad last year before the injury. Felt bad for him. Finally got a chance with a good coach to maybe make things work for Jameis Winston. I hope he can get it done and stay healthy this year. He's going to have some targets this year. Michael Thomas is going to be back for the Saints. Let's see if they can take the next step. The defense, solid. You look at what they did last year, even with the injuries, that defense kept them in games. I think the Saints are the team that has the most upside in this division because the other two teams in this division, Carolina and Atlanta, aren't going to be factors, although I think Carolina might be flying a little bit under the radar. They have a chance. If Baker Mayfield has a good year, this team could surprise some teams this year. But the Falcons, I'm not high on them at all. We'll see what happens. It's Tampa Bay's division to win. But when we get to the best bets, you're going to see where I'm going for my best bet with my Saints.
Oh my gosh, Marco and I are locked up again. Sorry, spoiler alert, but you guys already knew that if you've watched some other shows that I've been doing. Joe Raineri, can we get a trifecta? We've been doing shows together all day. I just want a panel, like, across the board. We all love the Saints.
All right, you talked me into it. Saints it is then. And it really has a lot to do with the fact that we have a top 5 defense returning intact here. Plus, it turns out, I believe Kamara is not going to miss 6 games, 5 games, 4 games. His trial isn't until after this season. So we are getting pretty much the entire Saints team back. Healthy Michael Thomas. I mean, all the pieces are there. I'm not necessarily sold on Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. And I love, like I said, I love Todd Bowles. Former Jet guy. I get it, love it, but I know how this turns out. I've seen this movie before, and unfortunately, it doesn't end well here. But I do think the Saints are the team to. A lot of people are sitting going, nah, it's Jameis, it can't. It's Andy Dalton, it's Ian. But no, they can't. They can compete, and that
Joe,
defense.
you sound like Andy Lang right now.
I'm just saying that defense is going to make it possible for them to win this division and maybe sweep the Tampa Bay Bucks in the series this year. I think it's coming, guys. I think that defense, not because of Jameis Winston, I think it's because of that defense of New Orleans and one of the real home field advantages left in the NFL. I think they're going to be hopping there in New Orleans, and I think they are the team to beat as far as I'm concerned. It ain't going to be Tom Brady this year. Sorry, should have stayed retired. But, hey, the face looks good, Tom. It really does.
Oh, my gosh. Everybody relax. Calm down. I don't even know if Tom really... I thought I was going to miss VR on the show, our resident Saints fan, and Joe just came in and gave me all the ammo that I needed for my best bet. But before we can get there, sorry, guys, we have to take a commercial break.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet on It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.
Welcome back. And before we get to best bets, I just have a little tiny favor for you guys. Just a little tiny one. If you guys could go click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, smash that like button, download the new WagerTalk app, all these things that Johnny Detroit texts me about every single day to remind you guys of. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here at Bet On It, and we strive to get you guys some winners, starting with, well, this is kind of like a little trifecta. If you guys watch the prop shop segment, you know that I am high on Jameis, and I do have faith in him, and everything I've heard out of that locker room is in terms of leadership. I mean, come on, the guy was dancing around on crutches. His teammates love him. Joe mentioned this defense. I'm taking the over 8.5 wins. I'm taking Jameis over on his passing yards, and I am taking the Saints to win the NFC South. I hope I'm right, because boy, am I pot committed on the Saints and Vikings this year. Marco, what is your best bet for the NFC?
Well, Kelly, I agree with you on the over 8.5 with the Saints, but I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to go Saints to make the playoffs. We can get a little plus money on that one because it is so heavy with the other teams, especially Tampa Bay in that division. And of course, we talk about the NFC West with all those teams. And you know what? Just like we said with the AFC West, I think the NFC West could beat each other up a little bit, and we can get into the playoffs, not necessarily winning the NFC South. But I do think that they are going to challenge Tampa for the division and pull the upset. But let's go the safer route, take them plus money to make the playoffs. That's my best bet for the NFC. Take the Saints.
Well, what's that for, Joe?
Yeah, this is just way too kumbaya. There's a whole lot of agreement going on. We got to mix this up here, Kel, at some particular point, which is why I am not going to go puppy dogs and rainbows and everyone gets over. Can we fade a couple of teams here for a best bet? Like, what is the current win total for the Bears? Too high. I don't care what it is. Whatever that number is, it's too high. They're going to be lucky to win 3 games here this year. And I'm looking, in the Giants, 7 is what I am seeing for a win total here. I am not buying the New York Giants winning 7 games here. I think they go under. And I love Dable. I like the future of the Giants. They finally seem to have gotten it right, but it ain't going to happen this year. 22 wins over the last 5 seasons is what the Giants have gotten. That is nowhere near 7 wins. Coach or no coach, no. This current roster, it ain't winning 7 games, Cal. So I am fading the Giants, and I am fading the Bears.
I love it. Double best bet for Mr. Raineri. Mm-hmm. Make sure you guys are following Joe at Joe Raineri. Make sure you guys are following Marco at Marco in Vegas. And if you guys are not following me, just don't even watch this show. Let's be honest at this point. And to call a spade for a spade, we are going to end on that high note. Again, we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us each and every week. Make sure you head over to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. We have a college football show out right now for week 1, as well as an AFC preview. Good luck on all of your bets this weekend and any future bets you may make. Again, you can always fade, you can always follow, but regardless, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Again, good luck. Until next week, let's bet on it.